Hi, I'm Steve Evison from Nearly Wild, and I'm here with Dave.
Hello, Woodland Survival Crafts.
Brilliant. That's Dave from Woodland Survival Crafts. Okay, Dave, yeah, we've known each other for a little while, and I know you've got years of experience of doing this sort of thing. Can you tell me a little bit about the sort of stuff that you do?
Well, yes, I mean, it's very wide, is bushcraft, and over the years I have worked with lots of schools, lots of clubs, businesses, but in the last sort of decade or so I've predominantly been working with outdoor professionals and developing their skills and I suppose putting the polish on their work and promoting good practice.
Brilliant, that's very interesting. So you're effectively, when you're starting out, you're really getting the bushcraft skills yourself.
Yes.
Then you develop them to a higher level, and then you've ended up in a kind of more of a mentoring space.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, when I first started, I actually very nearly gave up within a few months when I realised just the enormity of the skills that I sort of probably ought to know, but actually, if I was honest with myself, I didn't.
Yeah.
But the customers were getting something out of it, and that's what actually stopped me from closing. I thought, right, but nowadays I'm involved with a lot of folks that are wanting to set up or have set up, but want to really put some fine sort of polish. And sometimes that's not just about refining their direct skills.
Right.
It's sometimes their indirect skills in how to, deliver, or different ways of looking at the same skill.
Yep.
And that can be very important. It's all too easy to just regurgitate information in a sort of set pattern, without actually thinking what you're delivering. And sometimes it's like it goes over some people's heads, or it's too simplified for others.
Right.
And you've got to actually understand your client.
Right. So there's quite a lot there that it's also, as well as bushcraft, it's also a lot about people and dynamics and group work and that sort of thing.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
And if you start to develop that, the impact can be really quite something.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've had examples of all sorts, ranging from having an impact on a squad out in Afghanistan, that tried to copy an article to really keep morale high, and I've since become friends with the staff sergeant there, who just really valued that sort of prompter and that level of detail that enabled him to engage his troops in a very difficult situation. That's one of those really very flattering and honouring sort of thing. I felt very honoured that something like that has happened. But that's an epitome of what I've always said to my children: you never know where your words will travel. And it's like, there you go. Others, I've ended up going into so much depth of a given subject that it's actually translated into opening up someone's personal life that's really helped them understand themselves, and they've sort of come face to face with a really awkward issue, and thankfully they've been able to be open enough to face up to a given issue, and they've actually moved on. And
that's really
that's been pretty powerful, and I've had a number of those over the years. It's often been thought of as a universal language. The more I get involved in bushcraft, the more and more I realise that it's even wider than I thought, and it goes into all sorts of depth, or can do. And that's partly in line with the fact that the more you get into the detail of a subject, it starts to open that up. It sort of parallels, working with people. The more you get involved with them, it's the more opens up, and the more you sort of understand. I've learned a lot about myself through my journey. One of the key sort of subjects that I teach, one of the first things I teach on most courses, is set the scene with a how you perceive your environment.
Right.
What often happens though, when you start to understand that and you start to tune into that perception, it sometimes starts to expose how you view about yourself. And I've come across many people that have a deep down conviction that they're either not very good, or they whatever, but actually through getting alongside people, I've been able to just suggest that maybe their perception of themselves is maybe a bit distorted.
Right.
And even just that suggestion of perhaps you want to re-look at yourself has been just a trigger to go, oh yeah.
Yeah, no, that's really interesting. I mean, there's two things that for me are really coming out strongly in what you're saying. One is this, the role of bushcraft in us understanding the natural world.
Yes.
And that, like you say, that first thing, going in and understanding the environment you're in, is absolutely fundamental to real bushcraft.
Yes.
It's not just toys and kit and stuff. In fact, it isn't that at all.
Yeah.
And the other thing is actually this fits up very well with this sort of growing awareness of well-being and the relationship with the natural world.
Yes.
But a lot of what you're talking about actually is the people bit of nature, which is really interesting.
Yes. I mean, it's so wide already. I'm thinking, gosh, I've got to contain myself just in this little interview,
we could end up
because this
talking
is
a
so
long time.
Well,
I think that's good.
I think you've had an interview with Rupert Locke, and he's taking the subject of bushcraft and translating that into or drawing out the in-depth science.
Yes, absolutely.
Which I always knew was there, but I'm not a scientific-minded person. I don't speak that language.
Right.
Whereas like Rupert does.
Yeah.
And he's going to do well because he's really grasped that, and the more understanding as a bushcraft, the more he can go to deeper levels of science that again it ticks the box in education, but it also engages people. Now that is a good combination.
Absolutely.
You engage the people and you tick the box of people in the office. Oh yeah, we've got fantastic.
Yeah. So I mean, it's really interesting for me because I'm very lucky. I mean, obviously, know people like yourself, and we learn from each other, and I've got can pick up from very quickly from years of skills that you've developed. But obviously, not everybody is in that type of situation.
No.
Do you have any recommendations for new people coming into this that actually who are genuinely serious about really getting involved and learning more? Is there a way that they can easily start to access where to find people with the sort of knowledge that you've got?
Yes, I mean there's a lot of people teaching bushcraft, at all different levels. But there are some clues that people have got a level of competence in delivery. They're not absolutes, but there's clues. One of them is age.
Okay.
Been around a while.
He's not talking about me. You'll notice I just had
I'm
this
not.
painted.
I'm talking about me. I've been doing this for 24 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there are people that have been delivering sort of awards that have got levels of national recognition, either NCFE or the IOL Bushcraft Competency.
So, sorry, Dave, I'm going to have to stop you.
Okay.
NCF.
National Certificate of Further Education, I
Okay,
think. So
right.
there's those.
Yep.
There's also Open College,
Right.
and there's other awards.
IOL,
Institute for Outdoor Learning.
Institute of Outdoor Learning. Right,
we've been working on developing and promoting good practice in bushcraft, particularly with the sort of classic outdoor instructor in mind.
Interesting because I think a lot of people think of IOL as being for really just about outdoor instructing. Hanging off a rock face or something.
No, it's very much a very broad spectrum of outdoor education, of which bushcraft has grown enormously in that recognition. I think 12, 13 years ago it was like, I was sort of kept at perhaps at arm's length. So, this bushcraft, what's that really about?
You're sure that was the bushcraft thing? Sorry, Dave. Sorry. Go on. Yeah.
Well, now you've got me thinking. But now it is. I mean, a lot of outdoor centres deliver bushcraft. Many of them come to people like myself to train their team, which is great. Because that tells me they want to improve their practice, and the more you improve the practice, the more you're going to inspire young people. A classic one that You know, one of my many soapboxes is, you know, people say, oh, well, it doesn't matter if you haven't got your firelighting sort of down to earth, down to real finesse. It's like it shows them that, you know, anyone can make a mistake. I said, so if you had someone that could deliver in sort of more or less all weathers a slick demonstration of fire and someone who's fumbling around, which one's going to inspire more?
Yeah.
I go, you know, we need people we need that sort of, that spark of, I want to be able to do that.
Yes, yes.
Because that's real cool.
Yeah.
And, you know, you want that.
Yeah.
And I think it's not the mystic art, it's all tangible stuff. It's all stuff that can be explained by a good facilitator, a trainer. And, you know, let's have that polish. That gives people that personal satisfaction.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just, I've bought this, it's like, I know that I can do this. That's some of the big things that are missing in our people today. They don't deep down feel they can do things.
Right, that's
they
really
can do things because
yeah.
they're fast on their fingers on this and they've got the money to go and buy that. That's not real satisfaction in life.
Well, that's a really important note to end on, Dave. I thank you really a lot for this interview. Obviously, I know you've got loads to do. You're running all sorts of activities today at the show. And it may be that we'll catch up again. I know we'll catch up again, but maybe do another interview further.
It'll be a pleasure. Absolute pleasure, Steve.
Anybody who's interested, obviously at the end of the video and at the bottom you'll see Dave's website. Seriously, if you want a good trainer with loads and loads of experience, then here's a man who can definitely help you on your way. And as Dave said, Dave's also been heavily involved in helping support and develop IOL, the Institute of Outdoor Learning, in relation to bushcraft. So it's well worth having a look, and I'll also put the website for that at the bottom of this video. Thanks very much, Dave. Great to see you.
Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, subscribe. If you didn't like it, leave a reason in the comments as to why.